Okay, everyone, good morning on Saturday the 28th of April, here for a Saturday get-together training to talk to you a little bit about the next 90 days and really to kind of lay out for you some thoughts around the decisions that you have to make today and going forward and the kinds of things that should be thought of when you make those decisions that we're going to talk about today. My wife and I are actually Nancy's going to join me on this call today. It wasn't posted, but she's going to be joining me and talking a little bit about some of the topics we've talked about in our own trainings and our team pages recently. We've really been talking more and more about writing your own story and making it all about, you know, your plan and really kind of getting yourself out of your own way, right? Your whole mindset of your personal belief, your own personal things that you need to do to get yourself started here. And then the back half of the call, we'll talk a little bit more about the next 90 days and the types of things that you should be looking forward to doing. See, when you think about 90 days, let me just touch on that to set your mind a little bit about what I'm going to be leading towards in the training in the back half. You know, it's about ambition and planning all coming together, right? You have the ambition, but it's going to take a plan, and it's the most reasonable time frame that you can actually start moving forward to get that plan to come together is the next 90 days. You know, we often say 3 to 5 years is a great window for us to build our business in, which I really believe, but sometimes that time frame is really problematic for lots of people to make the progress they need to be able to see that as a realistic time they can make that commitment. So what we want to do today is get your mind thinking about where you are now, where you're coming from, some of the things you need to do to write your own story, and you know, from that point on, we'll build a platform of saying to you, okay, here's what you need to think and do for the next 90 days. Here's my wife, Nancy Carson, Blue Diamond.
Hey, everybody. So for me, honestly, when I think about this, I always say to everybody that Valentus is a solution-based company. Valentus brings so many solutions to people's problems. We always talk about the 3 hot spots of more money, better health, and more time. And with having those solutions, that is something that you have to be not humble about. That's when you come from a ground of being a solution-based company, when you're not asking someone to say necessarily try shampoo because they're going to have shinier hair. That is a solution, but it's not necessarily what we're bringing to the table. We're bringing solutions that allow people to dream, solutions that allow people to change their lives. It's incredible the testimonials that come out of the Valentus products. And so when you come from a posture of a place where you know with your heart and you believe that your company can give more money, better health, and more time, that allows you to have the posture to talk to somebody, and no matter what doubt that they have, you can fill those doubts with a positive solution, and Valentus provides that for you. That posture comes from belief. I've heard John Haramza say so many times that the best, most powerful tool that you can take forward to the people that you have is belief. And the belief has to be in yourself, from self-growth and learning. And we always say the learning is in the doing. I've said a million times that action is the way that you are going to be able to believe in yourself. Because if you have failures in that action, you're learning from them. So that belief in yourself comes from actually doing it. The belief in the industry. I honestly believe that network marketing is a better way. There is no other thing out there that you can do from your home, and you can do it when you want to, with who you want to, and how you want to. That belief in the industry is something that makes you not shy away when somebody asks you, what do you do? When somebody asks me what I do, I am the first person to say, I do Valentus. I believe in this company. I believe that this is a better way. And that belief is what's going to carry you through when somebody has a self-doubt or a doubt along the way. The belief in that this is a better way, that you've chosen the right company, that there's an equal playing field for all here. And then, of course, the belief in the product. Be a product of the product, the testimonials plugging into that. I absolutely am gobsmacked day after day after day when I plug into these testimonials and I see all the amazing things that these products are doing for people. And then when I read about how somebody's life has changed, and your belief in your dreams can be huge dreams, like life-altering dreams where you get to go on a family vacation, or you get to buy a beach house, or they can be just as little as mindlessly filling up your gas tank and not worrying about how much it costs, or going into a grocery store and picking up all the groceries that you wanted that day because you wanted them, not because you could afford them. Make sure that your dreams are something that you can believe in. And if you've gotten stuck in a rut with the doldrums of what day-to-day life brings, plug into some positivity, plug into some people that can make you believe again, that can make you think about the things beyond your horizon. There's so many people that have absolutely forgotten to want, to dream, to need, to even think about the fact that they don't have to go to a job, that they can stay home with their kids if their kids aren't feeling good one day. You have to remind people what that's like, what it's like to not have to ask to go to the bathroom when you're at work, or what it's like to just think about what you want to do, that you could just get in your car if somebody needed you and drive to them and be there for them. Those are the amazing things that you get to believe in network marketing, and that is what you need to plug into. That is the belief in yourself, in the industry, and in the product, and that is the most powerful tool that you're going to have going forward. So you need to decide whether you're thinking about one day or day one. This is where you write your story. This is where it happens. You decide, is this one day that you're going to do, or is this day one where you make the decision moving forward? It's your story. I'm writing it. I'm following my bliss. It doesn't have to feel like work. Work doesn't have to feel this way. Love the products. Have a genuine story. And if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So that's my advice for you right now. The learning is in the doing. The confidence lives in the action. Get out there. This is your day one. You decide.
Well, thanks, Nancy. That's incredible. And you know what? When you think about the first day of the rest of your life, I always say that you have 100% of your life left. So what are you going to do with it? And so when we've kind of capitalized what she was touching on there, here's something that I had written and said in a recent training. This is my life, my story, my book. And that's important for you all to remember that. It is your story. And you need to get these types of things in your head. I will no longer let anyone else write it, nor will I apologize, and here's the key, for the edits I make. And we will make edits. We will move left, we'll move right, but at the end of the day, it's so darn important for each and every one of us to understand that, you know what, we're on a path with a group of people that are helping us really share a great product of business, get people to events, and duplicate. So that's our business. That's what we do. And it ultimately is your choice what success level you're going to have along the way. Now, a couple of points to touch on here that we want to use in terms of mindset for you going forward is think in terms of sponsoring versus recruiting. I want you all to kind of see the difference between these two things. It's really important because those people that are recruiters are salespeople. Those people can get people to say yes, but they don't know how to move them past the yes. They don't know how to get them to do the basic principle of our whole premise here and teaching and duplication is teach, to sponsor, to duplicate. Once you get people on that path of teaching, to teach, to sponsor, to duplicate, and the method you use to do that is use other people to teach you how to teach, to sponsor, to duplicate, you will have the first steps in your duplication path. So that's sponsoring. So a true sponsor is actually here and in a partnership, has an obligation to teach the new person what to do. And all of this is important for you to have in terms of your mindset today because that's going to let you move forward for the next 90 days. Don't just go out there and recruit. That's actually a word that I want to strike from your vocabulary in terms of your business here with your network marketing opportunity. You're saying to yourself, I'm going to sponsor and teach, to sponsor, to duplicate because I want those people to understand how they can go forward and build an absolutely 1 hour, 90-hour day. That's the whole concept of network marketing is having a 1 hour, 90-hour day. So you know what? So remember that. It's your book. Stop beating yourself up. Just be willing to go forward here with this whole idea of resetting, renewing, rewarding yourself along the way, because you've actually refueled yourself with the types of information that you pick up in all of these different trainings that come out by all these great speakers. You know, I was thinking about this whole topic of the next 90 days, and Dave's asked me to touch on this today. And, you know, one of the things that starts everybody off in a path is having belief and having that absolute conviction that you are in the right place at the right time. We've always had that, my wife Nancy and I, because we love the people that we're associated with. You know, when I see people come and go, or I see these you know, the shiny objects, it doesn't steer me in off my path, because I know where I'll be every 90 days now, because I have this concept in my head that, you know what, I'm willing to do what I need to do, but along the way I got to collect some data, and that's the topic that I want to get into, but I'm just going to see if Nancy has anything else she wants to share before I get into that. Nancy, do you have one more thing you want to share? Here she is.
Well, I always like to say life offers you a second chance, and it's called tomorrow. So if you've started your pathway on a way, and I've talked to people about this, they've been upset, and they said, I think that I've started wrong. And I said, you've never started wrong. You just haven't started. So you got to plug into the basics, and you got to know what you want to do. You got to plug into the welcome calls. You got to plug into the three-way calls. You got to will it, want it, and schedule it. So it's really, really important to ask questions. What does somebody want out of this? What are their dreams? Are they happy? These are great conversations to get people telling you about what they want. What do they want their life to look like in 5 years? And if it is exactly the same as it is right now, is that okay? Because your desire to change must be greater than your need to stay the same. And sometimes it's really important to remind people of that. They need to move forward. And the only way that they can do that is to will it, want it, and schedule it. That's your three-way calls, your welcome calls, and your DMO. You've got to plug into your DMO. And I can't reiterate enough. I know that Dave was here in Winnipeg when we had our event, and he brought everybody the amazing DMO that everybody could have like a hard copy of. And if you don't have one of those, download one, because there's no cost to doing so. But it's really nice to have that book to flip through, to read it. I know David suggested to everyone to kind of read over it 3 times. He's a big believer in that repetition. A lot of people say, I don't need to plug into the calls because they're repetitive. They have the same information. Well, have you ever asked yourself why the same information comes up time and time again? It's because it works. Duplication works. Don't change the recipe. This is what works. This is where the success is. Like Ted Wilson says, success leaves clues. Follow the clues. It's a broken down system. All you have to do is put it in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Stage 3, put somebody that knows what they're doing on the phone, and you will have success. I just cannot tell everybody enough. Don always likes to say, wash, rinse, repeat. These are the things, your introduction, your validate, your credibility. Those are the things that you need to do to be successful.
So with that, let's move on to the next 90 days. So, you know, hopefully we've got you thinking a little bit about that this is your business and that you're going to need to look a little closer at yourself because it's your story you're writing. So here's the point, everyone. You know, it all comes down to data collection. In business today, if you don't have anything to measure against, then you can't actually see if you're succeeding. If you don't have any year-over-year, month-over-year data in business, you don't know how you're doing. You really don't. I mean, all businesses out there, all successful businesses, all publicly traded companies are measuring all the time. They're measuring, in fact, by the minute often. They are absolutely measuring all the time. And the important thing is that as you're collecting data, what data are you looking for? And that's really what a daily method of operation is. It's the data. What are you going to collect? What are you going to look for that you're going to need in the next 90 days? It all becomes a daily, weekly, monthly choice. And so it's kind of like, and it's interesting, when I thought about this, it's the new 12 and 24. You know, when Ted Wilson and I sat in a pool on 2 pink flamingos floating, I know there was a picture that was circulating around with us in it, and there was a question that said, I wonder what they're talking about. Well, guess what? I said to Ted, I said, you know, Ted, the 12 and 24 concept really is, and this is really where it came together for this training today, here's a new 12 and 24. The next 90 days, you know what that is? That's 3 months. You know what that is? That's 12 weeks, 24 hours a day. You're going to need thinking time right now to take that in and really understand what I'm saying. If you want to have the most successful next 90 days, then it's 12 weeks of your life, 24 hours a day, you're going to do it. It's your new 12 and 24. It is your new daily method of operation that you're going to start measuring the data. So what's the data we're looking for, right? Because obviously, if it's not working and you have no data right now that you can look at, then you need to do something different. Because ultimately right now, the breakdown in being successful are the things that you're doing. So do what successful people are doing. They're actually doing activities that make a lot of sense, right? And that's the capturing of the information. Now, if you want a DMO that we use in our team, more than welcome to go to Team Gets Results. Get in there into the files section. You'll find a daily method of operation printed off with activities that you can keep points of. You're more than welcome to go get it. It's free. The question is, will you do it? And will you actually start capitalizing on the information that others that are using it are doing? You know, as I was writing down points this week, I've noticed a lot more three-way calls coming in and some welcome calls. That is absolutely working for me, folks. It's working for me because it motivates me. When my team or anybody in Valentus is contacting me and saying, Don this or Don that, would you help me with this or Don this, or Nancy this or Nancy that, that's motivating. It's contacting people. It's a part of what we do. It's very important for you to recognize that that's part of your daily method of operation is working with your upline, working with the leaders, asking them questions and letting them answer as best as they can, or point you quickly to where you can find it, as Ted in the past had done to me. He said, you know what, it's over there. Have you found it yet? And I said, no, and he hung up on me. I mean, think about it. I mean, at the end of the day, you're a leader. You are born a winner, folks. You are not born a loser. You are born a chooser. Write that down. You are born a winner. You are not born a loser. You are born a chooser. You need to choose the direction you want to take this business, because the next 12 weeks, 24 hours a day, you're going to need to go out there and collect some data, folks. It's very important that you start keeping track of what's going on in your business and your team's business so that you can actually duplicate. If there's something missing, then it's going to be really easy for you to figure that out. See, what's on your plate right now? And what can you remove to free up more time to do the activities you know in the next 90 days will make you successful? So as I have been sampling this new product coming out later in May, I'm blown away by how good it is. I am. I'm blown away how good it is. We have amazing products already, but I'm blown away. And there's many other leaders that are on this trial basis that are blown away by how successful it is in the goal that it's set for us in terms of that product mandate. It's incredible. So what has that done for me? What has that done for me to free up my time right now? I've gone now and started contacting everybody that I'd ever approached, ever talked to, ever sampled to in the past, and guess what the common denominator is in their response to me? If you're telling me the truth, I want some. Think about that. If you're telling me the truth, I want some. Everybody is looking for something that you've offered them or shared with them or not shared with them, or at least given them an opportunity to think about in the past. But when you have conviction in your voice and you have that true belief and heartfelt go-forward plan in your strategy, because you are setting yourself up for success, those people will all come back and be on your team or be a consumer or a customer or whatever. So I want you to understand that the first step in the next 90 days is to physically go back and relook at your list. Relook at everyone you have ever talked to and everyone that has ever been involved or excited in the past. Trust me, the curiosity that you'll build with them on the fact that there's this new product coming in May that is going to absolutely revolutionize the industry. And folks, it has a patented ingredient exclusive to us in it that is absolutely going to revolutionize what we're doing. Enough said. I can't go too much more detail, but think about what I just said there, a product that will change the industry forever. Yes, we have some great products. The Max and the other things we have are fantastic. There's a new site coming out that Valentus is releasing right away that I've been privy to hear and see a little bit about. You know, the Valentus Keto Lifestyle. It's incredible. It's going to allow to tie things together so that people can ask questions amongst themselves on a piece of information that we provide, and they can choose the direction they want to go with some of our products. I love that concept of what Valentus is doing. So when you think about the new, in my mind, 12 and 24, 12 weeks of my life right now, going forward 24 hours a day, what do I really want to do or be at, or where do I really want to be at in 12 weeks? Write that down. These are the 3 things I'm looking for you to buy into in this next 10 minutes. I want you all to understand how important it is that you don't get too caught up in what's happened already, okay, to you. What you need to do is you need to say, where do I really want to be in 12 weeks? That's number 1. Number 2, why do I want to be there? I want you to go back to revisit your why, but what I want you to do is shorten your why time frame. I want you to think about where do I really want to be and why do I really want to be there? And then I want you to write down one more thing. How am I going to get there? Well, I'll tell you how you're going to get there. You're going to learn how, with a group of people that are devoted and all in here, how to teach, to sponsor, to duplicate. And if you're not doing that, then you're recruiting. And if you're recruiting, you will be out of this business. You need to start sponsoring. It's so important for you to start writing the story for you to be able to go forward here. And remember those words, folks, that you are all born winners. It was a decision that was made along the way that threw you off the path. So with that, I want you all to understand something. You've got to accept your past. You just have to. You've got to accept your past without regret. And you've got to handle your present with confidence and basically face your future without fear. That's the key right there, without fear. Do not talk yourself out of the story you're writing. Allow yourself to make a few edits along the way, and be careful that there are people out there that are going to absolutely continue to be your naysayers. Those are part of your daily method of operation things you're going to do. You're going to start striking some of the things out of your life right now that are in your way of reaching these 90-day goals. It's so important that the data that you're going to collect is around the positive influences in your life. If you can find that data today and write some of these down, these are some of the data points you're going to want to collect that we look at in terms of where you want to develop your own skills, right? So before I give you some of those, I'm going to just give Nancy a chance here to chime in another time, and then we'll get into some specifics that you might want to start collecting data on.
Hey, everybody. I was recently on a call, and I had a question come up, and I thought it might actually be something that everyone else had come up too. And the question was, I seem to be able to create customers, but I struggle with the opportunity. And they asked me if I knew why. And I said, it's not because we don't have one of the most generous comp plans out there, and it's not because we don't have superior, amazing consumable products, and it's not because we don't have great ownership and leadership. It's because you believe in the products, but not in yourself. When you're missing that element, when you don't believe in yourself, or if you haven't had the success yet in your business to believe in your business, then you will be attracting what you are putting out there. We say all the time, your vibe attracts your tribe. So it's very important, if you can create customers but struggle with the opportunity, that you need to plug them into somebody who's already had success with the opportunity, somebody that's already had success with the business, and you need to stop thinking like just a customer, and you will attract a new reality. I know that it's duplicatable. You need to restart the process, and you need to plug people in to somebody in your upline, whoever that might be, that has already had the business success, that already has the competence, that can talk from a place of posture, and they will be able to draw a new vision and a new picture for people. And I can promise you that you will start building a business that is not just customer-based, which we all want lots of customers, but there's no better feeling when your business becomes international. There's no better feeling when your business grows beyond the borders of what you could imagine. There's no better feeling when you see that growth in your organization, and the success formula for that is to plug them into somebody that's already done that.
So with that, and all of this coming together for the final 5 minutes of our call, we always keep it to 30 minutes exactly, you guys, all of you, have to get a few skills that you're going to need to develop over the next 90 days, and go find the people that are good at it. You know, I have one of my Diamond leaders I sponsored, Deb Kellerine, who did a topic on branding yourself. You know, and she's a different person today than she was when she started. She's learned how to have her confidence come out in Facebook Lives and in posts she'll make. And that confidence can be addictive for other people that want to share in that confidence, right? But it also can be intimidating for some people. So that will attract some, and it might not attract others. It's so important that you understand these basic nuggets. So again, in our daily method of operation, we have 14 different items that we keep track of, or we ask our team to keep track of, and we rate points for all of them. And then they're able to keep track of these points Monday to Sunday and all week long. And so they can see the points that they get on a Monday from these activities and the points they get for a week from these activities. And it's interesting, you'll be able to track which particular items of the 14 you can't or need help with. And those things are what your upline should be supporting you with and saying, hey, let's go do a live together. Let's do something where I'll join you in a little box and communicate with you. You know, so Facebook posts are incredible, but don't be loaded with product information. Get yourself really, really good at being comfortable with branding you when it comes to whatever you do out there in social media. It's all about you, okay? That's the first thing. And you've got to get points in your daily method of operation by welcoming people with another person on the call. I can't stress that enough. Yes, you've got a successful person you've sponsored. You've done a connect call to get them there. That's all great. Now, give them a big hug and put another person on the call from your team and say, I want to welcome so-and-so to our organization. Do that online by posting it and sharing that. And all of that information will connect people up to the culture of what we do here. You know what? When you get guests and webinars and trainings, those are activities in the next 90 days that you just got to commit to. You've got to start filling your bucket with things that are going to fill up your week with positive things, right? As you pre-enroll people into our Valentus tour section, the way you do that is your method. You'll find that. But once you get them in there, then you're going to be following up with them to say, are you aware of what Thursday, Leapfrog Thursday is? It gives you a talking point. But you can't get that talking point into a reality unless you've pre-enrolled them. These are points you can collect. The Ditto Touch and the advancement of the Ditto Touch. Folks, we are working on some things in Ditto Touch right now that are going to be absolutely phenomenal to help your business. I won't say any more than that. I can just tell you that there's more advancements coming. It's an incredible platform. Understand it. When you use it, collect points on your DMO with it. When you start learning and doing and getting more from these calls, as Nancy said, sometimes it's repetition, but that's what works. Sometimes you got to hear things 7 to 11 times for it to sink in. I remember one of my key leaders asking them what the word form meant, and they could not repeat that form meant family, occupation, and recreation and money. They didn't remember that each letter represented something, but they had heard it 100 times. They just never let it sink in. So make sure that everything you do in the next 90 days sinks in. Make it you. Make it your book. Write it. Change it. Make it something that's duplicatable, and start sponsoring people with the concept of teaching to teach, to sponsor to duplicate. Remember, your planning sessions you do with a new member are point collectors in my world. You just don't sponsor them and say good luck. You get down with them and you start showing them where all the information is they need and how they actually get it. Show them where the calls are. Teach them. Don't assume it, because if you assume it, I promise you, they will not do it. Assumption makes an ass out of you and me. You've heard that before. Don't do it. Show them. Teach, to sponsor, to duplicate. At the end of the day, as you're doing your follow-ups with people, handing out samples to people, being a product of the product, and the amount of products you use, give yourself points for that. Collect it. Share it. Duplicate it. That's your data. That's your data. Are you collecting data? Are you? Are you all in with Valentus? Do you see the future? Are you going to call your database? Are you going to call the people that you've talked to in the past and get them excited about this new product coming and products coming? But the first one is a mind shaker, folks. It's just one of those things that only comes along in network marketing companies probably once every 10 years, and we just happen to have it coming. So be excited and don't lose track of the fact that people want to be with you. You just haven't given them at times the right reason to go with you. So do you understand the concept here? The next 90 days is your new 12 and 24, folks. You've got 12 weeks, 24 hours a day to change your life. And then what you're going to do at the end of that 90 days and set another 90-day plan. The deal and the end of this call statement I want to make to say just before I say goodbye is you need all of you right now to allow yourselves to be a beginner. No one starts off being excellent. Remember that. No one starts off being excellent. So can you all reset, renew, refuel, and get ready to be rewarded? I know Nancy and I are, and I hope you enjoyed the call. We enjoyed saying what we could today to give you what we believe is an important next 90 days. And Nancy, I'll just say goodbye, and we'll turn the call off. Here's my wife.
Hi, guys. I just wanted to remind you that the very best way to create belief is at an event. And we have an amazing event coming up. We've got an event in Vancouver, and it's such a powerful, powerful tool in creating your belief when you're in that room with like-minded people and everybody has this amazing attitude of growth. There's no better place to plug into than an event. And so it is so important for you to move mountains and get your people to our event that we have coming up in Vancouver.
Okay, everyone, have a great rest of your Saturday, rest of your weekend, and let's kick butt in May for the next 90 days. Have a great day. Bye-bye.